Disheartening thing that guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive.
I have so many stories from when I lived with two sorority girls. It's ridiculous. But my favorite was when we would go out to bars together. And, they were two very skinny, beautiful sorority girls. So guys would approach them and offer to buy everyone shots. But I forgot that since I was the ugly fat friend who was just there for comedic support, that didn't include me. And it was so funny to me when my friends would point it out and be like, hey, are you not going to buy her a shot? Just the look of absolute disgust and annoyance that ascended onto these men's faces. They wished I was never born. It was hilarious. Like, babe, do you think that you're doing me a favor because you're buying me a $5 shot? Men truly only treat women like human beings if they find them attractive. That's it.
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening?
I love that people are talking about this because it's something that my hot friends in high school did not get, and they still don't get it now. Whenever I tell them, that guy's a huge douchebag, and they're like, no, oh my gosh, he's one of the sweetest guys I've ever met. To you, because you're hot. We should be judging these guys off of the way they treat people they're not attracted to instead of just solely on the way they treat you. It's going to save you from finding out that they're a douchebag 6 months down the line. They can't even fake it for that long. Let's say 2 months.
Disheartening thing that guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive.
First of all, go watch your video. It truly reminded me. I went out with two guys that I was friends with. They introduced me to their third friend. This man proceeded to talk over me anytime someone talked to me. Like, the other two guys would just ask me a question, and the guy would talk over my response. After 2 times of trying to keep the peace, I was sick of it. So I asked him, what the heck's up, man? And he just openly says, I'm not interested in you. I don't find you attractive. I'm not trying to sleep with you. I don't need to be nice to you. So he was putting in more effort to be rude to me than he was to just be civil. Neither of the guys said anything. They just kind of laughed it off. And I realized men don't care. That's why I realized it's so prominent. Like, none of them are going to check each other at all.
Disheartening thing that guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive.
Back when I was bullied a lot in middle school and elementary school and part of high school, guys were really, really mean to me. More than girls, actually. It was like guys who were the most mean to me. And of course they would like ignore me and pretend I didn't exist when we were in a group of people like all the time. They would like pay attention to my friends who were really pretty and literally pretend I wasn't there. One particular incident that I remember that I literally made me cry. I don't know why, it was my breaking point. It was when like one day I was talking about this band that I really liked and the guys were like making fun of me for it, and so I stopped talking about it. And the next day this popular girl started talking about how she really likes that band, and the guys were all talking about like, oh, I love that band, like they seem cool, blah blah blah. And then I just chimed in because I didn't have any friends, so I just like wanted to include myself, and I was like, oh, I love that band. And the guys just say, and I love it when you don't talk. And everybody was laughing, and I don't know why, but that made me cry so much.
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening?
When they don't make sure you get home safely. Before I start this story, I'm gonna let you know right now, I know I'm a bad bitch. I'm fucking pretty as shit. My confidence, boom, boom, boom. However, I went to a PWI, and as a black person going to a PWI, a predominantly white institution, there are fucking days you will doubt yourself. On the rare occasions that I went to the white bar with a white friend that I met in class, and rare is in all caps, I would be the outsider. Whatever, I'm here for the cheap drink specials, whatever, I'm gonna drink and just chill and laugh, and it feels good not to be just trapped in my thoughts. However, one night, it was like a night where everybody was kind of pairing off. If you ever been in a situation where like an even amount of girls have been invited out, an even amount of guys, and there were 2 white guys left in me, they were not looking at me, bro. And I tell you, they were like, we had been talking the whole night until they realized everybody was pairing off, and then I was invisible. So I noticed they were starting to leave, and like I was gonna leave anyway too. One looks at me and literally was like, you'll get home safely, right? And dips.
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening thing?
This is what happened to me when I was like in high school. There was a guy that me and him were really close. We were actually becoming really good friends, and then people thought that he liked me. So in order for him to make it clear that he doesn't like me, because he really had to make it clear, he made a really disgusting post about me, pretty much making fun of my physical appearance. It's like the thought of people thinking that he liked me was really disgusting and absolutely unacceptable to him. So in order to make sure that no one thought of that, he had to embarrass me and treat me like shit to the fullest, publicly.
What is the most disheartening thing that guys do when...
Okay, first of all, I want to say that every single girl under the sun is absolutely beautiful and you guys deserve the motherfucking world. But this is my least favorite thing that guys do. Every guy group has their range from the most attractive guy in the group to the guy who's the butt of the joke, doesn't really get girls, the guys make fun of him for it, and they normally laugh at the girls that he gets. And now I have a little flex. Really beautiful friends, absolutely stunningly beautiful friends. So now anytime we go out in public to restaurants, bars, clubs, whatever it is, they always get the most attractive ones of the group, which is, I'm so happy for them, fantastic. Which means I always end up with the guy who's the butt of the joke, which is fine because that guy's normally pretty cool. But then whenever you're alone, the attractive guys in the group will come up to you and make fun of you for talking to him and make fun of him for talking to you. And you can tell that they think you guys are both the ugliest there.
What is the most disheartening thing that guys do when
you have a crush on somebody and you're not conventionally attractive? It's seen as creepy. I don't change my behavior from the way that I treated them before I had a crush on them. I still treat them like I'm their friend. I joke, I laugh, I clown around. The second that they know that I have feelings for them, I'm creepy. I'm suddenly terrifying. And it's not just guys that do this either. If a girl hears that I have a crush on a guy, especially if she's friends with that guy, but not necessarily friends with me, I'll get infantilized a lot. And it's always, oh, that poor ugly baby. She has such a crush on you. It's so sad. It's so cute. I can handle being hurt. I can handle people not wanting to be with me. I can't handle being seen as subhuman.
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening?
I want to talk about this, but in fact, let's get into it. Now, I'm a baddie, so obviously all my friends are going to be baddies too. But they tend to end up being smaller baddies, which means I end up being the biggest baddie in the room usually. This dynamic has caused for a lot of awkward situations, and sometimes they're a little hurtful. I've been told that I'm pretty in the face. There have been times where I've seen men looking at me, but yet they walk up to my friend. I think the most hurtful example is this one. I got a dope ass personality. If we're hanging out places or kickbacks, bars, whatever, it's easy for me to become the life of the party because of my personality. There have been so many times where I'm talking and mingling with attractive men and we're getting along really well, we're laughing and joking, and I'm thinking something's about to pop off, all for them to ask for my friend's number because they're comfortable with me enough to now ask.
That guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive, so they don't treat you like a human.
Have you ever heard of the game Pull a Pig? I have. And I've been the pig a few times. Pull the pig is when a attractive guy chooses by himself or is egged on by his friends to convince a pig that she's attractive. To convince the pig that somebody could actually like her. To convince the pig to agree to meet him out. And then the pig gets ghosted. And sometimes the pig is answered by texts of, hey, where are you? To the pig emoji, and that's how they find out that they've been pigged. Sometimes they don't even get the pig emoji, and the pig just has to find out through the grapevine that they weren't actually interested in them. That it was just a game to see who could pull the most unattractive girl and make her feel really bad about herself.
That guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive, so they don't treat you like a human.
This was literally made for me. But the worst one was when I had a boyfriend and he just joined a frat, and it was a costume party for Halloween, and I didn't have a slutty costume on. There was just a couple of girls with really slutty costumes on, and he was trying to introduce me to all of his bigs, all the older guys at the frat, and none of them would give me the time of day. or like literally talk to me or look in my direction, and he was picking up on that. And he just realized that, like, I guess I'm ugly. And my coping mechanism for the night was getting blasted drunk, like so drunk. It literally got to the point where he took me home early. And the dude literally ghosted me a week later.
Attractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening thing that guys...
I would always get compliments on my body, but never my face. When prom and like dances and shit came around, nobody ever asked me. Ever. Ever. I went to for prom with a friend of mine, and even then he didn't ask me. We just both didn't have nobody to go with. For the most part, I only get complimented by men when I'm dressed up or when they see my body. And it really used to fuck with me. And honestly, it really used to fuck with me mentally. Bitch, I'm telling you, like.
Conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening thing?
I got a lot low key. So pretty much my whole life, everyone's always told me I sounded like a man, so there's that. I never really got complimented on my face, and I grew up not having like a titties or a butt, so people would just be like, I kind of like your personality. I've never been taken to a school dance or anything like that. Never been to no dance, nothing like that. I was very much the friend growing up where people would come up to me and ask me for like my friend's number. The only compliment I ever got about my face was that I had DSL. Every time I had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, I've never been posted in any of my relationships. Actually, really, for that matter, I've never went to any public places in my relationships. I've never really been on any real dates. The only celebrity I get compared to is like Miss Natural, and if you know who that is. No.
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening thing?
So you're ugly. I mean, that's what you just said. Now, I don't think that. And let me explain why this is an important moment. I got tagged in this video a bunch, and what she says is completely valid. I stand with her, and the shit that she dealt with is not fucking cool. But I don't think she's conventionally unattractive. And I bet a lot of you don't also. But I bet a lot of you think that you're not as beautiful as you are as well. And that's the bullshit of the patriarchal male gaze making you feel less than anything but amazing and beautiful, which you are. I don't know who told you you weren't once, but let that shit fucking go. Some toolbag's opinion of you is not your reality. But the more that we say these kind of things out loud, the more we make that our reality. Your language is your reality. You perpetuate what you say. Ditch the negative self-talk and watch how many things start to change in your life.
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening?
So I was hanging out with this group of guys, and I quickly realized that they didn't find me attractive, which is totally fine, and I didn't find them attractive, so it was fine. But I knew this because they were like, hey, do you want to go play volleyball? And I was like, sure, I love volleyball, but it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so then we drove, 2-3 hours to get to the volleyball court. And when we got there, they were like, start digging. And I was like, okay, normal. So I started digging, and they were like, nope, keep digging, keep digging. And I just kept digging, and then they were helping, which was really nice of them. And then they were like, we're not going to stop until we get to the other side of the earth, because that's like how you start a volleyball game. And I was like, I know, but like I don't really have time for this, I have class in the morning. And they were like, oh no, this is part of class, you're going to be graded on this. And I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot that this was part of the assignment that was due like 3 weeks ago, and I had completely forgotten. I was like, why do I always let this shit slip my fucking mind? And it was
do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive, so they don't treat you like a human person? I'll start.
I don't know if I'm considered conventionally unattractive, but I do know that I'm a black girl in Nebraska, and so that makes me conventionally unattractive. The guys in Nebraska make it known from the start whether or not they like black girls. I've been in normal conversations with guys, just casual, and then they'll be like, just so you know, I don't like black girls. As if I would talk to them in the first place. One time I was out with my friend, and she was talking to this guy that she knew, and this guy had 2 friends, and I go to walk away because I could tell his friends like weren't really vibing, and they started following me around and making monkey noises the whole night. On the bright side though, I never have to guess if a guy likes me or not.
That guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive.
If you was ever the person that used to say like, oh, you got a crush on this girl, or oh, this girl likes you, like as a joke, and you and your friends used to laugh about that, I want you to know that your day of judgment is coming. Yes. And you will answer to God for your crimes.
Tell me you've been single a long time without telling me you've been single a long time.
When people ask if I'm in a relationship with anyone, I say, yeah, with Jesus. You know, because he's enough for me. He's all I need.
Name a job where the amount of work and the amount of pay do not match.
Oh, that's easy. Being a Section 8 real estate investor, I might, on a good week, put in 5 hours worth of work if I'm lucky. That's normally just signing off documents such as new HVAC installations or roofing installations. And for that amount of work that I put in, Section 8 will send me over $400,000 per month in rental payments for my tenants. Obviously, about 60% of that is actually passive cash flow. The other 40% goes to the bank and mortgages and taxes and insurance. But for the amount of work that I do and the amount of pay that they pay me each month, it's very not matching up.